All right, three, two, one. Hey, everybody, Harry Welchel here. Today I have Charlie Price back, and we're just doing a quick update. So, yeah, Charlie, let me turn it over to you. What are we celebrating? What sort of updates do you have today?
Yeah, yeah, Harry. Got good news for you. So last month we actually hit 33K, which was fantastic. That's a record for us in revenue. And then for this month, for the month of September, we're on pace for 45K.
Dude,
So really
that's
excited.
so exciting, man. I'm so happy to hear that. That's awesome. So why don't we do this? Like, for those who haven't caught your first interview, can you just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and your background?
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey guys, I'm Charlie Price. I'm a CPA. What I do is I work with accountants to help them grow their business with high profit offers and attraction-based marketing. Have helped with about 100 accountants in the space at this point, and excited to help many more down the road here.
Awesome, man. That's awesome. So last time we caught up, we were talking about how you were doing about 6K a month and went to 12K, I think, in the first month of us working together. It's been a couple months now, like probably 3 or 4 months. So if anyone's interested in that and like what we did early on, go back and take a listen to that interview. But like, Charlie, why don't you just share a little bit, like, what are some like two or three things that we've worked on together more recently that's really impacted things and helped you um, reach these new revenue goals?
Yep, sure. So I think the number one thing that really stands out to me, um, we implemented some pre-sales assets and social in the form of social proof and client interviews that have really helped us move the needle in close rate and conversions and helped allowed us to bring on more clients, help serve more clients. And I think with the help of Harry with that, that's been a huge game changer for us for sure.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, and I think you were telling me about how you hired a sales rep, right? You have a sales rep doing your calls.
Yeah, we brought on a sales rep just about a month ago now. Yep.
Okay. And I wonder if, like, with those assets, like, you're the founder of the company. If you're doing the sales, like, everything. Like, your close rate is probably going to be higher than anybody you hire. So do you feel like having those assets like allows your sales rep to close more easily, close at a higher rate, even though they're not, the founder, the face of the company like you?
Mhm. Yeah, 100%. And even um, even when I get feedback from that sales rep, he's like, "Man, that deal closed so easy." Because I asked him about the case studies, and they've clearly helped us, for sure. So that thank you so much, Harry, for that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, I mean, and I would say, like, again, like, and you would agree with this, is like it's about getting a good win for your client and documenting it. So ultimately, the seed of it is the fact that you are doing well by your clients and they're getting results working with you, right?
Yeah, yeah. The client success has been great. They love the support that they're getting, and we're definitely getting some big wins. I mean, we just recently we took an accountant from 1,500 a month, and now she's doing over 20K a month. So we've been able to use that as definitely a asset to leverage. So just I'm so excited with the people I get to work with.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, so on the service delivery side, have you made any improvements or changes there recently?
Yeah, right now we're systemizing out um, our cadence on how we check in with our clients, and we move from one coaching call a week to two coaching calls a week. So we're actually increasing support, and we plan to continue to do that as we kind of grow our resources and as we continue to grow. So I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome. So, okay, more support for the clients. Um, and have you seen, as you've lifted the support, do you feel like the results are getting more consistent or
Yeah,
faster or anything like that?
yeah. And then actually that brings up another point, Harry, because like I think something that you really harp on is simplification and just keeping things kind of as simple as possible, and having the most streamlined process possible, and just taking out the fluff. And that's something that I've taken from working together with you, and I've implemented that. And I that's something that we're working with on now. I've kind of revised the course, the client path, I guess is what you want to say it, call it.
Sure.
to really shorten that and to get them to that promise as quick as possible. And that's helped for sure.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. So streamlining kind of the path, the plan, what they have to do. Um, what else? What other wins or insights or things that have been useful in the last few months?
Yeah. Another big one, Harry, was just working through, I went through your mindset modules and just, having conversations with you on mindset. I think honestly was really big on building my, my kind of CEO brain and like, kind of how to think like a business owner and how to, yeah, I mean, just how to deal with adversity in life and business, I think is a good way to put it. So that was really helpful.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear that. Do you feel like were there like net new things that you were learning, or was it just more like having me be able to kind of help give you my opinion about your specific situation and kind of give you tailored advice, or what do you think was so helpful about it?
I think it's a combination of two things, which is what you just said, which was, honestly, just some really good, genuine advice on things. And then another piece was, I think, implementing daily habits, morning mindset routines and daily habits. And I definitely have taken that and borrowed that and harped on that in my program as well. But so important. And being able to implement some of that stuff has just been a game changer.
I love it, man. Yeah, like I wish I had started a mindset practice years ago in my own life. Like it seemed like if someone's listening, they don't know what we're talking about. That's totally fine. But it's like, yeah, like the old Harry, like back in the day, like I would have just thought it was kind of like woo woo and hippy dippy, and like now I'm just like so sold on the idea of doing affirmations and just working on that stuff, and it's just amazing how much better it makes your day to day, and you do see more results, operationally in the business as well, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And I'm the exact same way, Harry. Like I was definitely like, what's this woo woo crap? And, like when I first got into business, and like, still sometimes I kind of have that feeling every now and then with certain things, but it's my beliefs have definitely shifted just from, I don't know, the environment I hang out with and just the results that I've seen by practicing it and trying it out. So, if you guys haven't, done any mindset work, I definitely recommend it.
That's awesome, man. Um, yeah, like what else? What else? Anything else?
The one other thing that comes to mind is, Harry, I know you think very like systematically and logically, and there's a way that when working with Harry that he's very good at like kind of, I don't know how to say this, but like take the emotion out of things and like just look at things from a logical picture and a rational picture. And I think I've really taken, I've really tried to, take that mindset and use it at times when I can to systematize or to solve problems in my own business for sure.
Yeah, man. It's do you have any examples of that?
Um, I'm kind of blanking right now, but it's been multiple
What
things.
about offer structure?
Yeah.
You feel like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think like, well, yeah, I mean, I think it was like we would test out certain offer structures or things like that, and it's like, all right, well, let's test this, let's test that, and see which one will work better. Um,
What about like
hmm.
handling like conversations with clients and like diagnosing their issues and things like that? Do you feel like it shows up there at all?
Yeah, I mean, I think like something that comes to mind is, I've had anxiety in the past for maybe like clients where, maybe I've had anxiety about clients complaining or clients, worried about their results or, something like that. And I think, from your view, you look at it rationally. Well, how many people have complained in the past? Like what leads you to think that? And thinking like that, is really helpful because, I'm thinking from a place of emotion there, and Harry's thinking of a place from logic and rationality. So I think that's a good example that I can think of where that's come up.
I remember that.
Took me a second to think there to jog my memory, but it's been multiple conversations we've had, and just
I think
listening
that's
to,
come up multiple times with us, like two, three
yeah,
times that
yeah,
nervousness over the months, and then so you feel like that's lessened and kind of dampened down as you've gone along. You've been working on your mindset and just
it's
reminding
def
yourself.
yeah, it definitely hasn't gone away 100%, but it's improving, and
Can you share about that
yeah,
time when you like reached out to those clients that you were nervous to reach out to, and then they were really happy? You know the story I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah. I think there were I had a couple of clients that kind of weren't showing up or weren't doing what they weren't
Weren't as
showing up,
active.
weren't as active, basically. Yeah, and I was definitely under an assumption of like, well, if they're not responsive, if they're not showing up, then they're upset or they're not happy. But I ended up reaching out to them, and they were just fine. So they were excited. We jumped back on a call, and we got them back on track. Um, so everything was fine there.
Yeah,
Um,
I
that
think
was a good example.
it's like it's hard. I think most people, myself included, like don't have that attitude by default, but it makes life richer and more fun and more enjoyable if you have that like more glass half full, like assume the best mentality. And then if when you assume the best, it's not true, then fix things, you
Hmm.
know? Um,
Yeah.
and I've seen that in my own life. Every once in a while I have those same issues, but I think it's yeah, you have to actively remind yourself of it. It's not like the default.
Yeah. Yeah, that for 100%. And I just enjoy like I know every time I feel like if I'm on a coaching call with you and you're answering other people's questions, I just enjoy how you dissect and answer people's questions because you always come at it you almost always come at it from a systems rational way to solve a problem. So um, if that makes
Well, it's like
sense.
if you really want to solve the problem and move forward, it's the only tools you have. If you want to like have somebody pat you on the back and like empathize, that there's other tools you have in the tool belt to do that, but it's not necessarily going to solve the problem, per
Right.
se.
Right.
So, um,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's cool, man. Well, anything else? Any other interesting takeaways or updates? Since we last connected.
I think that's the other big thing is I'm working on, working, systematizing the business, coming up with processes, systems. We're not quite there yet. Like it's not the priority, for you guys that are maybe just kind of starting out, like the priority is still get strategy sessions, do strategy sessions, serve your clients. So, uh,
That is one thing I've drilled into your brain. Yes, exactly. That's great to
yeah,
hear.
yeah, yeah. So that's still the priority, but yeah, I'm making time for starting to think about how we can optimize processes and systems. So
Yeah, with that like systemizing, do you feel like you have fewer moving parts in the business? Do you feel like it's easier to run the business? Do you feel like but you're making more money? Like, do you feel like that's accurate?
yeah, I think before I had the sales rep in the door, um, I was juggling a lot, and that's just how it is when you're first starting, right? You're generating your own strategy sessions, you're doing your sales, you're doing your own delivery. I mean, it's a lot. But it's a phase of the business. Um, and Harry, I know you know about that. um, but fortunately, with the sales rep, he's come on. He's actually in the accounting space too. So he's not only doing the sales, like helping out on the sales end, but he's actually helping out on some of the
He
accountability and
coaches
some
a
of
little
the,
bit.
yeah, which has been fantastic. And that allows me. I know that I'm my zone of genius, or one of the things that I'm really really good at is generating the strategy sessions. So I'm generating them up, like being able to just focus on that, and the content's been really helpful for the business. Yeah,
So I know that you do a lot of like posting and stuff like that. You have an existing audience, you generate leads. Can you speak
right.
to a little bit? Are you still doing some of the stuff that we've learned about or we worked on together on kind of once you've originated a lead, advancing them, warming them up, like turning them into a better lead? Is that stuff that you're still leveraging?
Yeah, yep, 100%. Like I try to treat. I jump into conversations with people and I treat them like humans and empathize with them and, don't just go right into like sales mode with them. So,
And
yeah, I
you've
definitely,
seen that pay dividends later in the sales process. Like it's definitely worth that effort, right?
right. Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
Nice, man. Well, cool. Well, like, like, would you recommend others work with me still?
100%. Yeah. I think Harry, it's been amazing working together with you. Anybody that's looking to grow their business, maybe they feel like they plateaued, maybe they feel like they're stuck. They're looking on getting their processes ramped up. They want to know how to generate more strategy sessions, do more strategy sessions properly. We didn't even talk about your sales process, man. I love your sales process. Uh,
Are you still using it?
Honestly, I kind of let the sales rep do his own thing that worked best for him. So we've kind of shifted from it a little bit, but that's not to say that I don't like it. I think it's a great process.
Hey, man, that's all, no worries at all. And like, I'm sure there's parts of what I've taught you that are still influencing what you're doing sales process
Uh,
wise.
yeah, definitely, yeah, because we definitely are talking more about the process of what we do, like the logical
Getting them to buy into not
the
just like the price,
process.
but also like what you're going to do. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. I think that's big. So, but yeah, 100% guys, if you're looking to optimize your offers or your services, get that marketing down and generate more strategy sessions or how to properly do strategy sessions, then 100% Harry's the person to talk to.
Who do you think in particular I'm a good fit for? Just kind of knowing what you know now, like 4 months in, whatever it is, into our relationship.
Good question. I think anybody that's probably maybe that they've plateaued, or even if I would say anybody that's like just kind of plateaued, or maybe you're just getting started, and just don't really have clarity or a sense of direction. I think that's, you know, I think that Harry would be ideal for you.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. Anything else there?
no, you're good. Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. I think I'm seeing again and again that the folks who, yeah, are making anywhere from 2,000 a month to 10,000 a month, and
Yeah.
often they've just kind of like white knuckled and brute forced their way to
I,
that
I
point.
wasn't I wasn't going to give a revenue number, but that was exactly what I was thinking of, like 0 to 10 or two to, maybe like they have a couple sales to 10K. Yeah. I
But they're
think that
really
would be
looking
like,
to like get, yeah, figure out like how can I make this into like something that that's sustainable, and
right,
simple and easier to run and stuff like that.
right. If you feel like you're repeatedly like banging your head against the wall and maybe you're feeling some burnout too, um, Harry is really good at simplifying things and finding ways to like make things easier. So, um, I think that could be a game changer for you.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. So, why should someone listening take action right now?
Well, if you want to grow your business, if you want to serve more people, create more impact, and ultimately grow and scale, then that's why I would take action on it. Sure.
That's awesome, man. That makes sense. And if you had to give some advice, like what's your number one piece of advice for coaches and consultants right now?
Good question. I think one number one piece of advice is I would say look at what you're doing on a daily basis and look at your daily habits and routines and make sure they align with who you need to be to to be the who do you need to be to get to where you want to go.
Hmm.
So do your daily habits align um, with the future you that you want to be? And I think that's really important. I
I
know
agree.
that's not like the most techie, nuts and bolts advice, but I think honestly that's really really important.
It's really good advice. Do you feel like, I mean, it's scary to admit that and then to actually work on changing yourself. Like, did
Yeah.
it take some courage for you to like recognize that and take
Yeah,
action
yeah.
on that?
I'm still working on it, man. I'm still working on it. I think everybody kind of is to an
Everybody is.
extent.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it does. It does. It's scary. It's
It's
scary,
just
but
it's really deep work. It's fundamental work. That's good, man. So thank you so much, Charlie, for catching up with me here. I'm so excited. 33K on track for 45 this month. Can't wait to check in with you in a few months and see where you're at then. I'm just really excited for you, man. This is great.
appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. I'm
Yeah.
excited for both of us.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're doing well. So if people want to learn more about you, find more about you, where can they do that online?
Yeah, so you guys can just check me out on my Facebook profile. It's Charlie Price, or I have a Facebook group, Marketing Success for Accountants and Bookkeepers. We have about 2,100 members in there now, so jump on in, come say hi.
Cool. All right, man. Well, thanks so much. We'll talk soon.
All right, see you, Harry.
Peace.
Bye.